The clock in the school library hit midnight, and every screen turned on by itself. The computers glowed white. The tablets buzzed. Even the old TV in the corner flickered to life with snow and hissing. On each screen a different face showed. Some had no eyes, some had too many teeth, and one was just a shadow that stretched like a long, thin branch. The doors locked with a hard click. The lights dimmed until the room felt blue and cold. Jake held the microphone. Mia held a flashlight. Lucas, Sarah, Ben, and Emily stood in a tight circle between the stacks. A voice came from the speakers all at once. It was not loud, but it filled the room like fog. "You said our names," it whispered. "You made a list. You put us at the top." From the TV, a tall, faceless figure leaned forward as if the glass were only water. From a tablet, a smiling dog's photo bent and blinked. On a computer monitor, a yellow hallway with humming lights stretched on, too far to be real. From another screen, walls printed words by themselves. "Don't look behind you." Everyone did without meaning to. A shadow stood 5 feet behind them, flat and thin like a cardboard cutout, but it moved in small, slow breaths. Jake swallowed. "We just wanted to tell a story," he said. The voice answered, "You told our stories. Now we will tell yours." The library door creaked. Something stepped through that was not a person and not a picture. It was both. It peeled off the TV screen like wet tape. It was tall. Its head was smooth like a white balloon. It had no face at all. It reached out a long arm. And everything cut to black. Earlier that day, the hallway was full of echoes and sunlight. It was Friday. Mrs. Carter gave them a big project for the school podcast club. "Make an episode people will share," she said. "Make it fun, but make it safe." She did her teacher look, the one that said she was serious. No mean jokes, no scary dares, and no lying. Jake grinned at the group. "I've got a topic people will share," he said. "Top creepypasta legends everyone's talking about right now. We do a countdown. 10 to 1. We read the stories, but we keep it clean." Emily raised her hand even though they were not in class. "What is a creepypasta?" she asked, eyebrows high. "It's an internet ghost story," Mia said. "Like a rumor, but written like it's true. People post them everywhere and pass them around. Some are new every year. Some are old. They change. They grow." Lucas added, "And sometimes people say, 'Don't say the name out loud at midnight,' or stuff like that. But it's all just stories." "Just stories," Ben said, but his voice had a little wobble. They met after school in the library to plan. The air smelled like paper and lemon cleaner. The windows showed a gold evening and the parking lot with a few cars left. The librarian, Mr. Avery, nodded at them and said they could use the back table. He was tall and kind and always wore socks with cats on them. Today the cats wore tiny witches' hats. "No scary pranks," he said with a smile. "If the ghost of overdue books comes for you, I can't help." They laughed. It felt easy. It felt like nothing bad could touch them in such a bright, quiet place. They made a list. They did research with care. They picked versions that did not have blood or anything mean. "We keep it safe for the younger kids," Sarah kept saying. "We do a warning at the start. We don't tell people to do scary dares." Their countdown looked like this. The humming halls, a never-ending place with yellow walls and buzzing lights that people say you can slip into through a wrong door. The smiling dog, a picture that looks normal until the smile follows you. The midnight game, a story about a game you should not play because something tall and quiet comes to watch you. The Faceless Walker, a figure in the woods with arms too long and a smooth pale head. The mirror friend, a boy who sees himself wink when he does not. The sleep text, messages from yourself in the middle of the night. The stairs that go nowhere. The sound of the double knock froze everyone in place. 2 short, hollow thuds, like knuckles rapping on wood from the other side of the library door. Jake's hand shook around the microphone. The screens buzzed brighter, filling the room with cold light. The faceless figure in the doorway tilted its head as if it was listening. Then silence. No hum. No whisper. Just silence so heavy it made their ears ring. Emily was the first to move. She reached for Mia's sleeve and whispered, "Let's go. Please." Her voice cracked like it was made of glass. But the door with no handle, an ordinary wooden library door seconds ago, wasn't ordinary anymore. Its frame rippled like heat waves, even though the air was freezing. The knob had vanished. Smooth, dark wood stretched from top to bottom, and the knocks came again. Knock. Knock. "Don't open it," Sarah hissed, grabbing Jake's wrist. "We can't open it," Mia said. "There's nothing to open." Ben backed into the circle of computer screens, his voice shaking. "What happens if it opens itself?" The faceless figure raised its long arm and pressed its palm flat against the glowing screen nearest Jake. The monitor stretched like soft rubber and the figure leaned halfway through. Its white head turned, focusing on each of them though it had no eyes. Then the screens all screamed. Every speaker let out the same high digital screech like 100 alarms layered at once. It stabbed through their ears. The group dropped to the carpet, hands pressed to their heads. When the sound cut, the library was dark again. The computers shut off. The faceless thing was gone. The door stood. The air grew colder. The clock hands spun forward in a blur. 12:15, 12:20, 12:30. The second hand stopped again, landing on the 12 like a guillotine blade. The library door slammed shut. A heavy scraping began on the other side, like claws dragging across wood. Knock. 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 Ben whimpered. It's going to come through. No, Sarah said. She marched toward the whiteboard with the black marker still in its tray. Her hand shook but she wrote fast. Stop. We didn't mean it. For one heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the marker flew out of her hand and scrawled over her words in huge, sharp letters. Too late. Every computer blinked back on at once. This time, every screen showed the same image. Lucas standing in a yellow hallway staring at the camera. His mouth opened wide, too wide, like his jaw was unhinging. His scream filled the speakers, distorted and endless. Emily clapped her hands over her ears. Mia dropped to her knees. Jake backed into the shelves until books rained down around him. When the image cut out, the whiteboard had changed again. Names checked off, too. Ben's name was circled. Before anyone could turn, Ben was gone. 1 second he stood behind Sarah, shaking and pale. The next, only his jacket lay crumpled on the carpet, empty sleeves folded in on themselves. The lights snapped off. The knock at the door grew louder, harder, faster. Knock. 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 Then the door burst open, and something stepped through. The door slammed open with such force the hinges groaned, and a freezing wind tore into the library. Papers and books flew into the air like startled birds. The group shielded their faces, but they couldn't look away from the thing that entered. It was tall, so tall it had to stoop as it crossed the doorway. Its skin was stretched thin, gray like wet paper, and its arms were too long, swinging like ropes. Its head was smooth and pale, no eyes, no mouth, just blankness. The Faceless Walker. The one from their list. Emily's scream stuck in her throat. It's real, she whispered, trembling. It's real. Jake clutched the microphone like it was a weapon, though he knew it wasn't. Stay together, he shouted. His own voice sounded weak, tiny, against the rush of cold air and the hum that filled the room. The Faceless Walker moved slowly, tilting its head like it was searching for something it could not see. Its steps were soundless, yet every shelf rattled as if it carried weight heavier than the building could hold. Where's Ben? Mia cried, spinning around. He was right here. Sarah's face went pale. Gone. Just like Lucas. Her voice broke. The board? Check the board. Jake's eyes snapped to the whiteboard. New words had appeared, thick and black. Names checked off, too. Both Lucas and Ben's names were circled in red. Emily stumbled back until she hit a shelf, her chest heaving. It's killing us one by one. That's what the list means. No, Jake muttered, though his voice shook. It's not killing us, it's taking us. The Faceless Walker raised one hand, long fingers curling like claws. The nearest computer blinked to life, the screen glowing white. A yellow hallway appeared on the screen again, the same one they had seen before. This time, Lucas and Ben stood in it, side by side, faces frozen in silent screams. Their mouths moved, but no sound came out. The hum grew louder, vibrating through the walls and into their bones. Don't look at the screen. Sarah shouted, grabbing Emily and pulling her head away. It's pulling them in. Jake dropped the mic, panic overtaking his chest. What do we do? What do we do? Fight it, Mia said, though her own voice trembled. They're stories, right? Just stories. We can break them if we don't believe in them. But the whiteboard answered her. The marker lifted on its own and scrawled in jagged letters. Belief is not needed. You spoke the names. Suddenly the library warped. The bookshelves leaned inward, bending and stretching until the aisles became narrow tunnels. The carpet rippled like water. The lights above dimmed, flickered, then glowed red. Stay close. Jake ordered, trying to sound brave. Don't let go of each other. But Emily screamed as something grabbed her ankle from under the shelf. A pale hand shot out of the carpet itself, pulling her down. She clawed at the ground, her nails scratching lines into the fabric. Help her. Sarah cried, lunging forward. She and Mia grabbed Emily's arms, pulling with everything they had. Jake kicked at the hand, but it was cold and unbreakable like frozen iron. Emily's terrified eyes locked on Jake. "Don't let me go," she begged. With a final, violent jerk, the hand yanked her down into the carpet. She vanished in an instant, leaving only the torn threads of the rug behind. The computer screens flashed again. Emily now stood beside Lucas and Ben in the yellow hallway, her mouth open in a soundless scream. The whiteboard changed. Names checked off, 3. Sarah's sob echoed through the warped room. "It's taking us one by one, until none of us are left." The Faceless Walker turned its blank face toward her. It raised its hand again. And this time the lights went out completely. The darkness swallowed everything. No hum, no screens, no red lights, just a suffocating black that made it impossible to see even. Sarah gasped. "The midnight game," she whispered, horrified. "That's number 8. We called it 2. The library walls groaned. Another door appeared on the far wall, a tall black door with no frame, its surface cracked and jagged. The knocks came again, louder this time. Mia's voice shook. "If we don't stop this, all of them, all of the legends will come." Jake's mind raced. They had said all the names. They had invited them. But maybe there was a way out. If saying their names brought them here, he said, maybe saying something else can end it. "What?" Sarah asked. "Like a spell? Like a story?" Jake said. "We told their stories. Now we tell ours. We say we're leaving. We end it." The Faceless Walker's long shadow stretched across the carpet, reaching toward them. The black door rattled as if something enormous was about to break through. With shaking hands, Jake grabbed the microphone from the floor. His voice trembled, but he forced himself to speak. "This is the end of the story," he said into the mic. "The creepypasta legends came, but we survived. We left. We went home." The hum wavered. The shadows flickered. The Faceless Walker paused. Sarah leaned close to the mic. Her voice was fierce, even through her fear. "We are not part of your list. We don't belong to you." Mia added, "The story is over." The computers blinked one by one. On the screens, Lucas, Ben, and Emily still stood in the yellow hallway, but for a second their eyes turned toward the camera, pleading, "Alive." Then the image distorted into static. The black door boomed, cracks spreading like spiderwebs across its surface. One more hit and it would shatter. The whiteboard marker screeched across the board one final time. "Not over. We write the end." The Apple clock's hands spun wildly. The floor shuddered. And with a deafening crash, the black door burst open. Something enormous stepped through. The story was not over.